what's up? Okay, guys, now let's get into the playlist. Now, first of all, we should go over the buttons. Let's go over the buttons left and right. First, let's start with this one though, on the Snap to Grid. So we're on bar right now, which means, and let's start with the pencil, which is our tools. We can click in anywhere, and we can move it. So it's kind of like a selector slash pencil tool. Now the paintbrush is like a paintbrush in anything, any like program where you just paint and it just paints the whole thing in, however you want, however long. That's what that does. I use that a lot. Here's the delete. I never use the delete because right click is delete. So you can right click and hit delete. Right click, delete, hit. And then here's undo, which is helpful. Undo, which is also Control Z or Control Alt Z to go even further back, which is helpful. I didn't know that for a long time. Control Alt Z, important. So anyways, let's keep going with the buttons. I never use mute and I never use slip or whatever that is. And then slice is important. Let's show you what slice is. Let me paste in a pattern, whatever, too. Let's zoom in here. Change our snap to grid to a beat so we can see the lines and slice this in half. Now what the slice does is you want to drag it over whatever it is you want to slice, and it cuts it like a scissors, like scissors or whatever. And you can move it, and that cuts that pattern in half. So that's helpful in a lot of ways. So here's a selector, which I never use because you can hit Control Shift click. So that again, Control Shift click. So one more time, Control Shift click, and that's that shortcut for that. So here's zoom. I try to stay away from zoom. If you click it and you click it, it does this weird, I hate when it does that. So all you gotta do is when you click it, unclick it. And if you can't figure that out, just hit Control Alt Z and it'll pull up this menu. Control Alt Z. And it brings up this whole entire history, and you can go really far back. So that's pretty helpful. So back to this anyways. That should be just about all the buttons. Now let's go here. This is helpful. This is the biggest thing I use right here. Now there's all like the tools and all that still here, the snap and all that. So that's pretty much what I just went over. Time markers are important. If we add one and we type in anything, it'll always add it to the beginning. It'll always add it where the marker is. So if the marker is in the beginning, it'll add it there. If it's at 7 and we hit add a marker, it's gonna add it there. So you might be like, why is this helpful? Well, let's delete these because let's rename this to intro. And then let's do chorus. So you see what I'm saying? And you can just really make a full song like that. So let's delete those because we'll use those later, but we're not going to use those specific ones right there. So let's delete those. Now that should be just about it. Now let's keep making patterns. Let's make this track longer. And to do that, I think we actually should start with, let's take this and drag it out, copy it. So what I just did was Control Shift, highlight, and when it's red, you can let go. Then you hit Shift, select, and that drags it over and copies it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, kind of, but you'll get used to it. Let's keep doing that until we hit about 40 bars, somewhere around that area. That's fine. So now, generally sections and songs are 4, 8, or 16 bars. So let's start with the intro and make that time marker, add one where the thing is in the beginning. Let's make it called intro. Then let's call this one right here chorus. So that's funny. We are using, but that doesn't matter, it's whatever. So now we're going to make the chorus 8 bars instead of 4. All the way over here, let's add verse. Okay. Now we got intro, chorus, verse. Let's leave this one. Here's 8 bars. And here's 16 bars. So a 16 bar verse, and then another chorus. So we could do pre-choruses and bridges, but I'm going to make this pretty simple. So we got that, and let's do one more verse. Oops, verse 2. We can do chorus 2. I should do that. Alright, and you can see how this gets longer. So, alright, so let's keep this going now. I should probably rename this real quick. Let me rename this to, let me just fix that. Alright. And then let's see what else we need to do. Now we got a verse going. Let's make this, okay, let's make this, clone it again and make it, now that's 8 bars. Now let's clone it again and make it 16. Like usual. And let's make chorus 3. And then leave that for 8 bars, and then let's copy this chorus. That's 8 bars. Copy that over. So we're kind of doing a little bit of arrangement too. So hopefully I'm not confusing anybody. Now that's 8 bars. Now right click again, add marker, chorus 4. Because at the end of songs there's a double chorus. Then 8 bars later, let's do outro. So let's copy this over. Okay, control shift click, brings up the gold box, highlight the whole thing, and in this case we're just gonna highlight 4 bars, drag it over. We're gonna leave the intro and the outro as 4 bars, and the chorus is 8 bars. We got 16 bar verses, another chorus, another verse, another chorus, another chorus, and an outro. So it's pretty basic. Let's get into this now. Let's get into the playlist now. Now that we went over all the buttons and all that, I think we should probably start adding more to this. So let's add some more. Let's focus in right here on just the intro, chorus, and the first verse. Let's not worry about the next chorus. So let's just focus in right here. And let's not build this like a song right away. Let's just fill in everything. What I'm gonna do is go to pattern tune and hit the paintbrush and just fill it in. Just because what's going on here? Okay, well, let me just clone that. My bad, guys. Delete that. What we want to do is clone these instead, because they're 4 bar, or they're full bar patterns instead of 8, or instead of halves. So let's clone those over. Okay, make sure they're all. Sorry, I hope I didn't mess anybody up like that. So let's play that. Okay, now let's not focus on these words. Let's just keep building this. So let's go to pattern 3. Okay. And let's go to, let's see what do we got. Our next one is our open hats. Now let's create an open hat pattern. Let's paste our pattern 3 in all the way across. Okay. And we'll delete it later. So let's just lay down what we need. Let's see where we want this. Let's play it from the beginning. Hold on. Okay, let's just see where we want it. I know I want it right here. Let's see if anywhere else. Alright, we'll just leave it right here. Okay, now let's add our crash in pattern 4. Separate pattern, new pattern. Okay. So we're utilizing the channel rack and the playlist right now. So, I mean, I guess that's a good way to do this. We're doing both at the same time right now. So, let's post it in. Now, see how I did it every, I just pasted it in. Now, this is our crash. So, we definitely don't need that often to hit. So, I'm going to delete it. Let's delete all that and add it every beginning of a bar, every beginning of a fourth bar. So, let's skip 4, put it on the first. Skip 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Then right here. Then right here. So you can see it. You can see the different colors. This is a little lighter than this color. And that separates it. So let's just leave it like that for now. It's a little loud, so let's turn it down real quick. Let's see what we got here. The collab. Let's paste this in and see if we want to do anything with it. Let's just leave it right here and we'll use it like in the second verse or something. Let's not make this too complex though. You know, let's kind of keep it easy for beginners. So, and basics, you know, as basics tutorials. So, let's keep this going anyways. Back to this. We got all of our stuff in here. We got everything in here. Now, what I want to do, which sounds insane. Okay, but what we're going to do is let's go down to let's see what we want right here. Let's zoom in right here to where this blank is right here. I know this is a little complex and I should be doing it a different way. But let's just do it this way real quick. It'll fix the problem. Okay, let's delete. Let's go to pattern 2. Okay. Pattern 2 and fill the rest in. Let's go to pattern 3. Fill the rest in into the chorus, the second chorus. Okay, pattern 4. Click an extra one in, after another one in to the fourth, you know, where we want it to be. And that's fine. Now go to pattern 5 and fill that in until right there. So now we got our intro, chorus, and verse totally done. Now the rest is just, you know, repeats. Chorus 2, verse 2, blah, 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 and so on. Let's delete all that. You can either do it by right-clicking and hitting all of them like that, or you can just, you know, highlight them like this and delete them. But I'm going to highlight these, and then when you have this 4 selector arrow, that's when you can select them. When it's like this, that means you're going to move them out like that, and it's not good. So make sure you don't do that. Now, let's move these over. Let's clone them. Okay, and make that line up. Make sure it lines up. Make sure you snap the grids on a large enough, either beat or bar. That way you can line it up right. Bar's easier. So let's use bar and do it again. And now we said we only want 4 bars for the outro. Let's delete all the rest after 4 bars. So we're going to go from 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. That's 4 bars. Delete. And now we have our entire song arranged, pretty much, besides what we need to delete. And maybe we'll add a couple more patterns. So let's do one more thing while we're here in the playlist video. Let's rename these patterns. Let's rename them, and that's a good thing to get into the habit of. Let's rename pattern 1, kick and snare, and change the color. Changing the color is so important. It helps so much. So we got that. Now let's zoom in. Control flywheel. Zoom in. Pattern 2 hi-hat, we'll call it. Yeah. Let's call it hi-hat. And recolor it. Whoops. to whatever. And so on, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. What was this? That was our open hat. Oh, my memory's terrible. Okay. That's our open hi-hat. Sorry about the same color. I didn't mean that. That's alright, though. Pattern 6, let's rename this to pattern 4. Jesus, I'm sorry. Okay. That's our crash. Sorry if I'm going slow. You guys already done it, you know, good. You know. But there's no rush anyways, so. And we'll call this Clav. We got like Christmas colors going on by accident. Okay. So that's helpful. So let's delete all these right here. Now let's arrange this in a different video. So I'm just gonna stop the video here. Now that was pretty much it for the playlist. So, you know, thank you for watching. This is T Beats. We're gonna go into the piano roll next and add something to make the track move, like chords or something, you know, and nothing too complex, maybe like a couple other things in a bass. So that's about it. So thank you for watching. This is T Beats. We're gonna get into the browser, piano roll browser, and then the mixer. So thank you for watching again. Peace. Watch the next video to continue the basics.